The world of professional wrestling is filled with drama, passion, and larger-than-life characters, but nothing could have prepared the WWE Universe for the shocking events that unfolded recently. The return of The Undertaker, one of the most iconic figures in WWE history, was nothing short of a spectacle. But his return wasn't just about nostalgia or a passing appearance. It was a statement, a message that would send shockwaves through the locker room and the WWE Universe, all stemming from a brutal, unprovoked attack by Gunther on Jimmy Uso. The rise and fall of Jimmy Uso. From legacy to isolation, Jimmy Uso, a member of the legendary Wwe family, had long been a pillar of the WWE, known for his undeniable athleticism, magnetic charisma, and his unwavering loyalty to his family and his tag team partner, his twin brother Jay. Together, the Usos created an undeniable force in the tag team division, with numerous title reigns and unforgettable matches that made them fan favorites. But the tide was shifting. The once unbreakable bloodline, the faction that had been the driving force behind Roman Reigns' rise as the tribal chief, was beginning to fracture. The cracks in the family's unity were becoming evident, and while Jey Uso had his own battles with the faction's leadership, Jimmy was left to navigate the shifting dynamics alone. Jimmy Uso had begun to emerge from his brother's shadow, establishing his own identity within WWE. He was no longer just one half of the Usos. He was carving out his own path. However, just as it seemed like Jimmy was beginning to find his footing, disaster struck. Gunther, the vicious and dominating ring general, unleashed a brutal assault on Jimmy. This attack was no ordinary rivalry. It was personal, ruthless, and calculated. Gunther's move was strategic. He wasn't merely targeting Jimmy Uso as a competitor, but sending a clear and chilling message to the entire WWE locker room. This wasn't about titles, it wasn't about personal vendettas, it was about asserting dominance. Gunther wanted to prove that he was the most fearsome force in WWE, willing to break any barrier in his path. Gunther's calculated attack left Jimmy battered and broken, both physically and emotionally. The WWE Universe watched in stunned silence, unsure of what to make of the merciless assault. But the question on everyone's mind was, why Jimmy? Why now? Was this simply another attempt by Gunther to weaken Roman Reigns' bloodline? Or was it a statement from Gunther that he was ready to stop waiting for opportunities and take what he wanted, no matter who stood in his way? The Undertaker's return, a dark presence, steps in, as fans were still reeling from the brutality of Gunther's attack on Jimmy. Something far more terrifying began to unfold. The arena went dark, the ominous toll of a bell rang out through the speakers, and the unmistakable sound of the Undertaker's theme music echoed across the arena. The lights dimmed, the air became heavy, and in the mist, the Phenom appeared. The crowd erupted, their cheers deafening, as one of the most legendary figures in wrestling history made his presence known. But this wasn't a return for a fleeting moment of nostalgia. This time, The Undertaker wasn't just stepping into the ring to reminisce about past glory. No, this was a message, one that would resonate through every superstar in the locker room and across every fan's mind. As the dead man made his way to the ring, his presence alone demanded respect. His eyes, cold and unyielding, scanned the crowd as if he was looking for answers in the sea of faces. Then, in the haunting calmness of his voice, The Undertaker spoke. He addressed the WWE Universe and the locker room with the authority of someone who had seen it all, someone who had battled legends, faced every challenge, and emerged victorious. There was a calmness to his tone, but also an undercurrent of something much darker. The Undertaker condemned Gunther's actions, calling his attack on Jimmy Uso a cowardly act of violence. He reminded everyone in the WWE that respect is earned, not taken through underhanded ambushes. He painted Gunther's aggression as a desperate attempt to cement his place at the top of WWE, a misguided effort from a man who was more concerned with dominance than honor. But then, in a moment that sent chills down the spine of every person in the arena, The Undertaker turned his attention to Jimmy Uso. The crowd fell into a hushed silence, waiting for every word the dead man would speak. The Undertaker praised Jimmy not just for his in-ring talent, but for the heart, family loyalty, and resilience he had shown throughout his career. He spoke of the spirit of wrestling, of the passion and sacrifice it takes to be part of this world. The Undertaker's challenge, a moral stand in the WWE Universe. That moment, when the deadman offered his words of encouragement, was more than just an emotional statement. It was a declaration of war, not against Jimmy Uso, but against the chaos that Gunther was sowing. The Undertaker made it clear that WWE wasn't just about the physical battles in the ring. It was about upholding the values that had made it the institution it was. Values like respect, honor, and loyalty. By standing up for Jimmy Uso, The Undertaker wasn't just fighting for one man. He was fighting for the soul of WWE itself. His return was a reminder that in a world of chaos, there must be a force that stands firm, one that will not allow the darkness to consume the company he helped build. But The Undertaker didn't stop there. No, he issued a challenge, not for a match, but for a moral confrontation. He dared Gunther to take responsibility for his actions and face the consequences. The Undertaker made it clear that if Gunther thought he could continue his reign of terror unchecked, he was gravely mistaken. With the cold, unwavering gaze of the dead man, The Undertaker warned Gunther that he would be watching closely. If Gunther continued down his path, The Undertaker would be there, ready to hold him accountable for the damage he had done. The WWE Universe reacts, a call for unity and redemption. The WWE Universe erupted in reaction to The Undertaker's return. Social media was flooded with posts praising the dead man for his powerful message. Fans rallied behind Jimmy Uso, flooding timelines with messages of support, defiance, and hope. They recognized the importance of The Undertaker's words, not just for Jimmy, but for the future of WWE as a whole. Even former WWE legends took to social media to express their admiration for The Undertaker's promo. They called it one of the most important moments in recent memory, a defining speech that served as a rallying cry for those who believed in the core values of professional wrestling. The WWE locker room, once filled with tension after Gunther's attack, now found itself united behind a common cause, the preservation of the company's legacy and the redemption of a fallen brother. But despite the praise, one question loomed: how would Gunther respond? Since the moment of the attack, Gunther had remained silent. He didn't issue a statement or make a public appearance to explain himself. His silence was deafening. Was it fear? Was it calculated? Was it a strategy? Or was Gunther truly stunned by the gravity of The Undertaker's challenge? No one knew for sure. But what was clear was that Gunther's reign of terror had just been put on notice. His violent, unpredictable behavior would no longer go unchallenged, and the ominous figure of The Undertaker loomed large, a reminder that chaos and disorder would not be allowed to rule unchecked. A new era. Will Jimmy Uso rise from the ashes? As the dust settles and the WWE Universe waits for what comes next, all eyes are on Jimmy Uso. Will he rise from the wreckage of Gunther's brutal attack? Will he answer The Undertaker's call for redemption and reclaim his place in WWE's future? For Jimmy, the road ahead will not be easy. But with The Undertaker's words ringing in his ears and the support of the WWE Universe behind him, Jimmy is ready to embark on a new chapter of his career. His journey toward redemption will be filled with challenges, but if there's one thing the WWE Universe has learned from this story, it's that nothing is impossible. The Undertaker's legacy. What's next? While The Undertaker may not be planning a full-time return to WWE, his involvement in this story has had a profound impact. The ripple effect of his words will continue to echo throughout WWE, changing the way superstars approach their careers and their conduct. Could The Undertaker return to support Jimmy again? Could he cross paths with Gunther, either in the ring or backstage? The possibilities are endless, and the excitement surrounding his return has added a new layer of unpredictability to WWE programming. This entire situation isn't just about Jimmy Uso and Gunther anymore. It's about WWE's future, about the battle between chaos and honor, between rebellion and tradition. The Undertaker's return has reminded everyone that no matter how dark the times get, there's always someone willing to fight for what's right. In WWE, the heart of the company still beats strong with tradition, legacy, and the relentless fight between good and evil. Gunther may be a beast, but The Undertaker has reminded everyone that darkness doesn't always win. Sometimes it takes a true legend to bring light back to the ring. With Gunther now on notice, the stage is set for what could be one of the most exciting chapters in WWE history. And with Jimmy Uso at the center of it all, the WWE Universe finds itself on the edge of its seat, eagerly awaiting what happens next. The future of WWE is uncertain,